Okay, so the last time we left off, I was still clearing. Well, this time I figured, you know what, I wasn't going to do a video until I had actually something really impressive to show you. So here we are. I had to rename my episodes. I noticed that I kind of doubled up on my third episode, so I kind of made another boo-boo and had to go back and fix it. So I think we're on like episode, I don't know. I'm giving up on guessing what episode I am until I actually upload it. But sorry, I kept going. I forgot, you haven't seen this. My first steps at making my factory. It's not fancy yet. It's really basic. I'm just putting down a basic structure for now. And you'll see what these holes are for us in here in a second. But each different section, that's red, this is blue, and this is the green section. So each one is going to be focused on different mods. Over here I have the Buildcraft. Right here I'm going to have I might have to actually split this one up into half, because a Tinkercraft, the construction or tier construction, isn't going to take up this whole area. And then over here I have another area which I can use another mod. Whatever mod that I feel like throwing in here. I don't know if I want to put like my of course that really doesn't work for that. I don't know, I'll figure something out. Even if I have to go and find another mod to throw in there. I could probably still no. I'll find a mod. But I'll go inside and show you kind of what I built in there a little bit sooner. But before, how I told you I was going to... Why aren't they running? So this is the carts that I set up. Why they're not running, I don't know. I don't know why. Oh, that's why. Yeah, so here inside you can set up a tank. That's a lot of water. It comes with 2 tanks, 2 chests, an experience thing just in case. I don't know why, I just feel like throwing it on there, and fertilizer. And this is kind of where you throw your seeds. So as it runs, I don't know, I'll fix them here in a second. It goes around the track and it harvests and replants as it goes along. In theory, there, like that. And it collects and replants as it goes. And I got fertilizer still in here, which is pretty good. Oh wait, there's one over here running. I wonder if this one here is running. Oh, why are they all stacked up on top of each other? What the heck? What? Wait, come on. Sorry guys. Apparently. Oh well. Well, either way, once I get them set up, I'll have them so they run. Probably have them run about 4 or 5 blocks apart, and so they have running constantly, planting, seeding, or seeding, harvesting, and just kind of, I'll have a non-stop flow of wheat, pretty much, because it's long enough. I set it up where by the time it goes all the way around a full cycle and gets back to where it started, it should have been able to produce or start producing stacks of wheat. So hopefully as it goes around the first cycle at once, that's why it's so kind of spaced out randomly. It's not really random, I actually kind of calculated it out a couple tries. It doesn't look like it right now just because I haven't, like I said, they were all glitched out. They're stacked on top of each other for some reason. It's not good. Right here is where I'm going to have it set up so they stop and unload. And I haven't set that up yet because I'm going to set up a warehouse right over in here somewhere for collections of wheat. I'm going to try over here. I'm going to try potatoes and then maybe carrots. I'm not sure, just to see if it works. Like I said, I know it works for wheat for sure, like I said in the last episode. But okay, so like I said, in these 2 areas here that I haven't finished yet, that's why I haven't thrown a roof on there, because I don't know how much room I'm going to need to set aside. So inside I basically got this first hallway that comes to my elevators for going down and going up. Down here goes out to the castle, and of course these will be, I'll put more stores in here depending on what kind of construction I do inside these. 2 factory floors. And of course down there is the door. I'm going to replace all this, of course, with stone. I just haven't done it yet. And of course, like I said, this is the red room. This has all the Buildcraft stuff in it, so that way I can start off by grinding. Here's a grinder. I put my stuff in here, and afterwards, after it's done grinding, you put it in the mixer and it cleans it. After you clean it, you put it in the slag furnace. For some odd reason, there it goes, slag furnace, which then will give you kind of a refined product, which then you throw into the crystallizer. Just the crystallizer. Put it in here with like sulfuric acid or something like that, and then you get these special kind of hardened blocks that you can then put into a regular furnace, and by the time you're done with this whole process, you'll get like 3.5 times the amount that you would get if you just smelted it in the smelter. Yeah, and this is just a regular furnace. And then over here I've got some storage. Yeah, some storage, huh? Each one of these chests holds a lot. So I could probably never use up all the storage in just this little cove here, but eventually that's what these are all going to be turned into, is storage areas. Except for on these sides, I'll probably throw stuff in there. Maybe some decorative, just to give it a little better feel in here instead of making it so gloomy. But this is supposed to be a factory. It's not supposed to look pretty. That's why there's like no windows and a top. See, this is where I'm debating. See, I've got the large desert area over there set up so that way I can do solar panel, right? Well, it's going to take forever to not necessarily pipe over the energy, but send energy over from charging over there to over here, because those chunks over there are going to be too far away, so I'd have to put a chunk loader over there, which slows down my computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a solar factory or solar plants up here on top that are going to power the main power source for this building, or not for the building, but for this section of the building. If I need to, I can expand over on top of this one when it's finished, but I don't really want to. I want to kind of keep it as much to that side as possible. I did think about coming up here and just capping this all off and then building my solar panels up here, but I don't want to. I like to be able to try to keep as much natural light as possible down here. And then when I finally get into my pumping stations, which is going to be used for my Buildcraft also, but they are going to be down here. Like I said, all my oil production and refining and stuff is going to be going on down here, so that way it's kind of out of the way, and I can actually get the long build stacks, so I don't have to have as many of them. Like I said, I've got the elevator in here, and I'm going to have my pipelines running up along on top of here, so that way it doesn't have all that clutter down on the ground. So I'll be able to have a nice clean map, well, for the most part. And this has been my update as of late. I know you haven't really seen me do any builds, but like I said, this took a while to build. This took me a better part of a day to get this far into the build itself, because I kind of, like I said, I kind of planned, like I knew for sure how I wanted to set up this. This room was the most easy room to come up with, because it's like boom, 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 done. That's it. But like in the Tinkercraft or Tinker's Construction or whatever it's called, I'm still not quite sure how that whole mod works. And I'm trying to figure out now on how, of course, I know, I mean, I went through next pattern, previous pattern, stencils, obviously, and here's my patterns, so this way I kind of went through and kind of been working with it a little bit, but I'm not quite there yet to have an idea of the entire structure, because I need lava, and I need to set up a redstone clock that I will run as basically the main component for making the specialized metals, or refined metals, or the molten metals needed to fill up the molds for making the metal weapons, or the second tier weapons. But like I said, I need a little bit of room for that once I figure it out, so I can make it look clean. I don't want some kind of really god-awful clutter of a mess in here. So I just need to figure out how I want to set that up. And when I do, once I get a good idea, because I've been experimenting on just a flat world on how to set all that up properly, I'll actually come back and record me doing that build for you guys, so you guys get an idea of the setup that I'm going for and how I'm doing it, because I'm sure you're kind of curious too on some of the techniques and stuff. Well, obviously I'm in creative mode. Well, I'm not going to be in creative mode forever. It's just until I can get my factory set up, and then I can go into what I call creation mode. I can actually create my town, which I still have not come up with a good place to build. Oh, that's cool. And sugar. Huh. But I lost my queen. Crap. So I'm trying, once I get a chance and things slow down just a tad bit, I am going to explore the world a little bit, see if I can find myself a decent place to build, so I can branch out a little bit. I felt as though if I sit in an area too long, I kind of get stagnant, and it gets, well, not so much fun. I'm sure you guys know how that goes. What was it the other day? I was looking up tutorial videos on some of the mods that I have, and man, it's the stuff that you want to know is never on them. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain. It's like, okay, I know the basics. There's 9 billion videos about the first 4 items of a mod, but they don't show the other stuff, the stuff that you are really freaking confused about and want to know how to learn, but it seems like nobody knows how to freaking use it, so it's never in any of the tutorial videos. And of course, like I said, this series is a Let's Play with mods, but I said I'd try to show you as much as I could when it came to mods, but of course I can't show you if I don't know how to freaking use them. So like I said, I teach myself first by trial and error, and it takes a little longer than I'd like. So please bear with me, guys. Especially once I get this whole facility set up where I can increase my production value by just loads. Get myself some really efficient tools, be able to increase my ore outtake by, like I said, 3%. So for every 1 iron block you get like 3.5 or something like that ingots, which is cool, even though there's a lot of iron, but still for some of those harder to get resources. It's also, especially if you're taking it and you're making the dark steel or whatever, depending on the mod. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand my ground level workshop. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot off in one of the directions here. Probably, I thought about going this way, but I think I might not. So what I'm going to do is probably shoot this direction, but I'll end up in the ocean, which I don't mind. So I think that's what I want. My next major thing is I'm going to start coming down here and I'm going to start just collecting as much material as possible for when I get into the major builds, like my cities, because I'm going to need a lot of coal, a lot of iron, a lot of stone, just regular cobblestone, so I can run it through furnaces. What's the cool thing about the Buildcraft stuff is I don't need as much coal as you would, because you can use these heater blocks, which run on, that's what these are, that's why I love the top exposed, these heater blocks that run these, so that way you don't have to use coal or iron, to heat up everything, which is freaking awesome. So that way I can use all my coal for making into coal blocks.